Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're tuning in. My name is Jonathan Torres-Herrera, and you are watching the JTH Show. Today, we're going to talk about a tragic and infuriating case of a little boy called Gabriel Fernandez. Roll the intro. Okay, so I spent the last few days watching a documentary on Netflix, and I will say it was a very well made documentary on a little 8-year-old boy. His name was Gabriel Fernandez out of Los Angeles County, who was murdered and tortured by the very people that were supposed to protect him. His mother and the mother's boyfriend. Of course, I don't think I need to say it, but I'll say it. You know, my energy is really low today, and I hope you guys stick by and watch it because, you'll find out here shortly why. I've been watching the documentary for about 2 days, and it's a few episodes in which they detail the whole trials, right? The whole court hearings, and you hear the case of what happens when there's multiple failures at multiple systems when it comes down to protecting the well-being of a child. Now, you know, there's too much for me to obviously break down in one video. This video is not only to bring awareness to this topic, to advise that you guys should watch this series on Netflix if you can catch it. You're gonna have to have, in my opinion, at least and in my experience, maybe an empty stomach, because every time I watched the next episode, I felt sick. I lost an appetite today. I have a good appetite. I'm sure you guys can tell by now. And today, after seeing 4 episodes, I think I was in the last few, and it leaves you speechless. You're infuriated. You're devastated by, finding out, the gravity of what led this whole thing to unravel the way it did. Gabriel, I have notes here as always, right? And excuse me if I'm scatterbrained. I'm really still trying to grasp my, the whole, or grasp myself into everything that I want to tell you guys, everything that I want to get out there, stuff that I've been preaching for a while. I've said it in other videos. In fact, my very first video, if you guys have watched it, it's about the tragic case that happened actually in my own home city, where a father, right, decides to end the life of his wife and his children. And these cases, of course, you hear them all the time, right, on the news, and sometimes they stick, sometimes they don't. Sometimes people get too busy. Sometimes it's too much to take in. You don't really want to even begin to understand the gravity of the situation, because it feels better to maybe not understand it or even try to comprehend it. It's so atrocious. And that's what this case was about. Gabriel, at 8 years old, had patches of its hair pulled to the point where teachers noticed that there were scabs that were healing already, where hair was there, right, from someone pulling his hair. He was punched in the face. He was shot with a BB gun, burned with cigarettes. He was fed cat litter. He slept gagged with a bandana in a in-wall cabinet, which they locked with handcuffs or a piece of wood to keep the doors closed. And the siblings, when later testified, they say that was the box. They called it the box. His teeth were knocked out by the handle of a bat by the mother. The mother's boyfriend pepper sprayed him. He was a security guard, by the way. And then they would call him gay constantly. Gabriel, when he was a baby, he was basically given up and given away to family members uh, uh, who were, I believe, or one of the family members was gay and had a partner, and they took care of him for the first few years. However, later on, because well, that welfare check, she didn't have enough with the first two kids, so she fought to have him back in custody, and she was getting a third welfare check, which is what she wanted, obviously. Um, there was a lot of failures, right? To start with, the biological dad. They in the series, in my opinion, they painted Arnold, the dad, as this guy that was very unfortunate to have lost a child, and he was, who was very sad, taken back by the loss of a child. But he was a guy with a big rap sheet. He was in and out of prison or jail. And at the time when his child was murdered, he was busy in jail. Now, they don't say it like that in the series. In fact, the prosecutor got very friendly with Arnold, the biological dad. But, because of whatever he did prior, he was held up in a jail cell while his child was murdered. But how Netflix wants to paint Arnold, which, by the way, I'm laughing because I'm pissed. By the way, Arnold is back in jail. And no, I don't want to hear any romantic stories like, well, JT, he's probably back because he's going to get him. He's going to get who killed his child. No, he's not. The guy who killed his child, which I'll go into this, is in San Quentin because he has been charged with first-degree murder and has been put to death with the California death penalty. Meanwhile, this guy is in jail, in some jail, Riverside County, who knows where, right? So I don't want anybody to get romantic and tell me that, well, he's in because he's going to do justice. No, he's not. He's in because the guy probably likes being in jail. He's in because he wasn't outside. He's not outside now being a father to the two children that he still has. I don't want to hear any crap from anybody in the comments or anybody, period, about this guy Arnold and, how good he was. And when you see the next series, if you see it, you'll know what I mean. Gabriel wrote a suicide note at 8 years old, 80-something days before he died, before he was murdered, saying that he wanted to die. It was a suicide note, which wasn't taken serious because when it was reported, and it was reported, by the way, the mother was so good at working the system, so good, that she was able to basically not only hand in the note. This is how good this monster was. She was so good at handing in the note. She told a social worker that visited the home, hey, my son wrote this. The social worker got it, called, and she was able to get on the phone with a hotline. And there was a recording of it, by the way. It's on Netflix. And she was able to get them to hang up basically and say, okay, just a child being a child. Which I don't understand how anybody, right, aside from the mother, could walk away from a situation, go on living with saying, oh yeah, 8-year-old writes a suicide note, just a kid. So that's where the whole other part of this that I said at the beginning were multiple failures, multiple systems. So obviously this is what happened to him at home, right? Obviously where he should be safest is where he was failed at with his parents. The other failures were DCFS, which DCFS, if you guys didn't know, stands in the United States, by the way, because I saw some people are signing up from outside of the U.S., which I appreciate it, by the way. Thank you for the support. It's in the United States, DCFS stands for Department of Child and Family Services. And they are blast all over the news. I mean, Google it yourself with case after case after case where they failed children, which I'm going to touch base on this real quick as well. Not just Gabriel, other children. So a government funded, by the way, by our taxpayer dollars, department, has a track record now. Not sure if they're always trying to beat their previous record, but they have a track record. Now you can tell me here, right? JT, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They are overloaded. True. It's one of my bullet points. It's one of the reasons, by the way, when I believe 3 or 4 people were charged from DCFS, along with the parent of Gabriel, they were charged. They were fired. They were charged as well for negligence. But one of the arguments was caseload issues. Which, if it's true, leads me to my point I'm going to make it at the end of this video. A caseload issues of domestic violence at home. That's a bigger issue. I think most that right now people are worried about. People didn't want to lose their job, so they didn't want to break certain protocols. Certain departments did not want to pay overtime. By the way, all this you can verify and watch. That I cannot recommend that series more. Okay, DCFS closed his case without a medical evaluation. So allegedly, normally, when there is a level of risk for a child being abused, they're supposed to bring him in for a medical evaluation. That never happened. Before a case is closed, right, where they physically inspect the child to make sure that there is physical abuse or there's not physical abuse. Gabriel, according to the forensic file that was released, had BB guns, cat litter in his stomach, bruises. I mean, there was clear abuse. But DCFS closed the case. Police and sheriff, that's the other level. They were called multiple times by neighbors, by family members, and the sheriff's office is now being accused of making home visits, multiple home visits, without creating reports. So they would go there. I guess it became like a regular thing, and they're like, "Here we go again, back to the Fernandez's home, right? Here we go." Got there. In fact, a Sheriff Gonzalez went there and went as far as plotting a way to scare the kid into not lying, because the sheriff, big gun and everything, thought the little boy was lying, and actually put him in the back of a squad car at one point to scare him and to stop lying, Gabriel, that you're being abused. School, the third level, there was a teacher also. She appeared in the Netflix special, Jennifer Garcia, who was aware of the alarming physical signs that Gabriel presented in school, week by week, month by month. She called DCFS multiple times. In fact, got familiar with the case handler, who was put on trial, by the way. And, you'll notice how in the documentary they show you how it went to deaf ears. Just like, okay, got it. Thanks for calling. Like you're calling for a effing pizza. So at one point, what does she do? She stops trying. People in school told her, "We don't investigate, Jennifer," or Miss Garcia. I don't know what they call her. You report it. Don't get involved. This is when she noticed herself, Gabriel would come to school with torn pieces of hair, fat lips. Don't get involved, Jennifer. Eat your apple. So there has been similar cases. And let me show you guys with on my screen on here. This is Gabriel. This is Gabriel Fernandez. A lot of people, I've been seeing it. They're mistaking him. They're putting Hernandez. His name is Gabriel Fernandez. He was 8 years old. Now, it's hard to imagine this boy, but there are pictures that I don't want to show of him in a hospital bed. There are pictures of him weeks, I think it was, before he was murdered, where he went to school. His face looked like somebody that just came out of a UFC fight. Google it. He was, again, called gay, put in cold water, put in a cabinet to sleep. The documentary tells you how the brother's siblings said he would go to the restroom in there and then they would make him clean it. I mean, shit that inmates don't go through. Right? I mean, allegedly. You can say, well, you never been to prison. True. I do come from a background of people that have been. And unless you're like a murderer, rapist of children, of course, you don't have that bad of a time. That's a whole other conversation, right? People can have different arguments, different prisons, different circumstances. But still, those are adults that they made their choices. Even if you say some of them are in there innocently. That's, again, I don't want to go down that road. Whatever. This is a child. This is a child. A child put into a cabinet, shot with a BB gun. Teeth were knocked out with a bat. No, this is not an exaggeration. The forensic files show all this. Post-mortem. An 8-year-old child. Unfortunately, this doesn't end there. This was in 2013, by the way. This doesn't end there. Here's a photo of Noah Cuatro, another child that was murdered by his parents. Noah Cuatro. Noah Cuatro was 4 years old when he died on July 5th, 2019. From being tortured for a period of 4 months. This little boy, 4 years old. And this is Anthony Avalos, another little boy who was murdered, who was tortured. Anthony Avalos, between February 2013 and November 2016, was abused, and the hotline of the Los Angeles County Child Abuse hotline received at least 13 calls in relation to Anthony. He died June 21st, 2018 at 10 years old. So before I move out of this screen, let me show you what shit looks like. Yeah? Let me show you real quick. I want to show you, right? Because a lot of people think shit looks like the turds you throw in the toilet, right? Or trash. What's a better word? Right? What's a better word? Let me tell you guys something. I'm being a little hyperbolic, and that's fine because I'm a little passionate about this. This is trash right now. These are my notes. These are trash. I'm going to throw it away. This is worth more. This is worth more. After I throw it in the trash, it's been processed, taken to a dump, into a landfill. It's worth more than the lives of the following: garbage, trash, scum. These are Anthony Avalos' trash parents. That's who they are. These are Gabriel Fernandez. Garbage parents. And these are Noah Cuatro's. These are the murderers of Noah Cuatro's parents. Now, the good thing, the only good thing, is that they're behind bars, as you saw all the snippets that I took. That is the only thing, is that they're behind bars. Some of them have been charged officially, and I know for sure the stepdad, unofficially, by the way, because she wasn't even married to him, of Gabriel Fernandez is in death penalty in San Quentin. So there is one more thing I want to share with you guys. And that is, I've touched base on this before on another video that I talked about. I was hitting a little bit on the Latino/Mexican culture for making jokes for the way we talk, right? And honestly, I hate to say we because I don't talk like that, but you get it. There's a video that I found. It's almost ironic. I was going through TikTok, by the way. There's another video. If you guys didn't see my video on TikTok, check it out. Okay? Of this poison that we now consider jokes. Sadly, I found a video that I want to share with you guys because I want you guys to understand where this is driving, where this is being driven from, I guess. I don't know how to put it, but in my opinion, you can tell me, JT, that's different, dude. These are murderers. These are monsters, garbage, scum. That, JT, that video is just someone that has issues. Fine. Make your assessment. Leave the comment below. Let me know. I want to know your opinion. But check this video out. Okay? This is, again, out of TikTok. Oh, TikTok. And I want you to check out this video. I'm going to see if I can pause it. Let's see. See if you guys can hear it as well. That would be helpful, right? If you guys can hear it. By the way, I got hit with the copyright notice on my last video. TikTok really doesn't want me to tell anybody what I'm seeing, what I'm finding. Yeah, I don't care. I released it still. You guys saw it, hopefully. So this is a video from TikTok, guys. Check this out. Check what this mother or whoever says, right? Aunt, who knows? Probably the mother. Check it out. Hold on. Why is it not starting? Come on now. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get it to work, but it's been a little difficult. Don't know why. Why are you being difficult? So let's see if I can first turn on the, okay. Well, first look at this, at the comments, right? I think you guys know where I'm going with this, but the mom, right? Some guy or girl or someone with user 12345 whatever said, my mom always talked like that. LMAO, most Hispanics do. Y'all are too sensitive. It's like normalized. It's normalized now. Right? His last comment is, it doesn't hurt because we both know she doesn't mean it. She doesn't mean it. Doesn't that sound familiar? I mean, at one point or another, I'm sure some of you guys have read books or heard audios or, videos of classic victim mental state when someone is mistreated. Oh, they don't mean it. They actually really do love me. Let me see if I can really get this video going, man. I'm getting upset that I can't get it going for you guys. Come on, play for me now. Don't fail me now. If I can't get it to work, guys, I'm sorry. What I will do, however, oh, wait a minute. I think I got it. Here it is. There it is. I got it. I can do it. Check this out.
Babosa, estúpida, pendeja, chingas a tu madre, vete a la verga, babosa.
I'm not going to even replay it. I'm not going to replay it. You guys heard it. What does the girl do? Thinks it's funny. It's a joke now. Ha ha ha. That's how my mom or my aunt or somebody, right? She's laying there with. That's how she talks to me. Funny. Leave a like. Her username, by the way, for that matter, is Julia Bad Butt. And you saw a comment that someone left on that video, by the way. I wanted to see what people thought. Now, the comments, to be fair, were pretty split. There was a lot of people, actually, that were like, that's not okay, reporting the video. Like, there was a lot of people. And then there was a lot of other people that were like you saw that guy. It's not that bad. She know why she does it. She loves you. No. User 12345, whatever your name is. No, it is not a joke. Stop normalizing that garbage. It's not okay. Stop it. Thoughts? I'm getting to the end here. Thoughts? It doesn't matter if you were abused. It doesn't matter if you are now grown up and you are okay. If you were, I'm sorry. If you are, you need to speak up. The people that allegedly are there to protect us and claim to love us are not supposed to hurt us like this. They're not. It is not normal. No, they won't change. Most people don't. Something great, something dramatic has to happen, drastic, for them to change. You crying and then them hugging you and telling you they're sorry doesn't make it okay. And if you are grown up now and you've moved away from that, it's good for you. Help me get the word out. I may not be the most entertaining. I don't put my butt out there for you guys to check it out. You probably don't want to see it anyways. I don't make all these I'm just, I'm me. I'm a normal guy out in San Diego, California. That I want to see things change. The world, for the most part, doesn't have to be this horrendous place. There is bad in the world. There is evil. You saw the garbage that I just showed you. Those people do exist and they will exist. But there are more of us. And that's what this whole thing is about. It's about making sure that you help me fight so that we don't have another Gabriel. It's so that we don't rely on systems like the DCFS to save our children. The discussing culture has to change. It has to change. And I know there's more of us that want to see it change, that don't normalize vocabulary like that. You heard me. Do I say shits and fucks? Yeah. Mostly to myself. Would I use language like that against my children? Like the shit that you just heard? No, I don't. You can doubt it all you want. I don't. I love my children. I care that my children are happy. And if you're a parent, you should too. Don't be afraid to feel like a failure. You can rise. You can change. You can. You weren't born with a manual. I know that. I wasn't born with a manual to be a parent either. But if you really want to be different, if you really want to be better, you can be better. Stop putting excuses. Stop saying it's your work. Stop saying it's your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mom, your aunt, your neighbor. It's you. The change starts with you. Here's what I'm going to do. I am building a platform. I don't know how long it's going to take me to have real momentum. But what I pledge to do is that you will see more videos like these. I will put people on blast. I will build a strong enough army of individuals that will back me with their own channels, with their own social media to stop this garbage. Every time someone says, well, I'm going to sue you, I will have people that will fight back. Because there's more of us that are tired of seeing this garbage. Because here's the reality of things, guys. Okay? Here's the reality of things. Hopefully not. Right? We can always hope for the best. But the reality is that sometimes these individuals that are mistreated, that don't end up like Gabriel, like Anthony, like Noah, They grow up and they take that anger out on the next Gabriel, on the next Noah, on the next Anthony, or worse, on your children. They're growing up with them. To some capacity, you cannot ignore that these are some of the individuals that end up being the Richard Ramirez's of the world. And you're like, that's extreme. It is. It is. But he existed or exists. I don't even know the mother effer is dead. The anger that is built inside a child when he is repressed, suppressed, it's going to come out. And I don't want those children to grow up and at one point have my children be in the wrong place at the wrong time because they decided to take out their anger out on a post office, on a movie theater, on a school, on a church. So I am going to call out any video, any photo, anything that I find of garbage parents, and I'm going to put them on blast. And I would appreciate anybody that helps me spread the word. And for those of you guys that you feel a little guilty and you're like, yo, stop it, stop, hey, stop. That's you. Watch out. That's all I'm going to say. There's more like me, and I saw them myself. And I've been connecting with people that are very like-minded. Not everybody enjoys telling their children that they're this and they're that and they're pendejos. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. I'm going to leave the child abuse hotline. I know you might say, for what, JT? Didn't you just say that they failed? I know, but it's the least I can do. It's the least I can do. If you know of someone that is abusing their child, whether it's theirs or not, whether they're just a guardian or an uncle, please, if you haven't until now, get some courage in you. Find it. It's there. And call 1-800-4-A-CHILD. That is 1-800-422-4453. One more time. 1-800-4-A-CHILD. Please. Any abuse you hear from your neighbor, from upstairs, it's not normal. It's not normal. No, they're not just reprimanding their child. If you hear thumps, if you hear a child yell every time you hear that, that's not fucking normal. It might hurt because it's your mom or your sister or your good neighbor or your uncle or your dad. Please. That's all this video was for. Comment whatever thoughts you have if you watch the whole thing down below. It would be cool to see if there's enough likes where we know that people, at least, even if there's just a couple of you guys agree with what I'm saying. Other than that, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See ya.